Alright, the day has finally come where I can finish this bird up. Finally got my motor in the mail. It was on back order. Did some things different with this build. I didn't like how I had to cram the multi-pin connector into the wing. They had it recessed in the wing. So I ended up using two layers of 1/8 inch plywood to make some little blocks. Came up a millimeter below the bottom skin here, so it basically connectors flush mounted with the bottom skin. And then I ended up recessing the other half of the connector into the fuselage. Just made a little 1/8 inch plywood box. I believe it was shimmed down two layers of 1/8 inch below the skin there. Made some accesses here for my servo also. But yeah, I made a little box. It was just a little extra deep so I could, I mixed up some epoxy and chopped fiberglass, laid it in the hole, plugged the connector into the wing, and then bolted the wing down so it compressed the epoxy and fiberglass. Got a perfectly lined up fit for that. Yeah, I was having trouble getting all the equipment in. I got a Spectrum 8-channel receiver in there, and it was a pretty big boxy receiver. Wasn't really going to fit underneath the servos being in the nose, so I ended up abandoning that layout, and that's when I cut this access in the wing saddle. There's plenty of beef around the perimeter of the wing saddle to carry all the loads. Have no worries about it not being structurally sound. It worked out just perfect there with the servos right tight together like that. There's about a 1/16 inch of clearance with the servo arm at 90 degrees. Plenty of clearance, worked great. Rudder and the elevator servo there. So yeah, got the multi-pin connector, the servos, rudder and elevator. Now I can just wire up my ESC and motor. I'm just going to direct solder them, shorten up the wires as much as I can. Running a original Castle Creations BEC there, external BEC. I got my antennas, the ones that come right off the receiver. I got them just coming out the fuselage, and I ran a remote with a 2-foot extension back here. I just ended up being able to fish that in with some fishing line, and the little nub, the antenna exit on the satellite receiver, I was able to just tack glue that with some CA right into the hole I made, so it's kind of rigid mounted up top, so I should get pretty good link with that. And yeah, all we got to do, get this motor installed and be ready to get it balanced out, finalize the battery mounting, and get my wires neatened up front here, and should be ready to take her out for a test flight. Finally got everything all together for the first time. Aileron. Hard to get this thing in one shot. Elevator. Rudder. Got my camber presets. Thermal. That ought to make it stop. We getting there.